Well, hi there. Happy Saturday. Um, Saturday the 12th, um, 2019, Journal 192, T+192. It's crazy. It's like um, the days just keep clicking by. And it's exciting. It's interesting. I was waiting for Leslie to get done with an errand earlier today, and I was reading. I'm reading a book called Decisive. It's by Chip and Dan Heath. Book looks like that, and it says how to make better choices in life and in work. And really, what it's all about is how to make better decisions. And one of the things that they talk about in the book is fascinating, and it is so appropriate to human nature. I mean, really, when you hear it, you'll think, well, duh. I mean, it's called confirmation bias. And confirmation bias is really simple. All it does is it suggests is that when we're making decisions, um, we we search out um, any information that reinforces or validates the choice we're trying to make or the choice we've already made. Um, and I've said for years in all the seminar work that I've done and the writing that I've done that there's no such thing as a rational decision. All decisions are emotional. We just try and rationalize them after we've made them. Well, confirmation bias sort of reinforces that idea because the confirmation bias says, I'm going to ignore all the information that challenges whatever my belief is, uh, whatever it is I'm trying to accomplish. It says, I'm going to go ahead and ignore anything that challenges it. I'm going to look for anything that reinforces it or validates it. Now, let me give you a perfect example of how this works. Um, it may not sound like much of a decision, but when we were looking at the transplant, when I was looking at the transplant, um, and I and I think it's be fair to assume that I had made up my mind long before anybody else had come to that decision. I was just waiting for everybody else to catch up. Um, and to that end, I kept searching for success stories. I kept searching for people that had already made the same decision that I was about to make, which was to go for the transplant, um, take my chances on how everything worked out, and take it, take it or leave it from there. And consequently, I found myself through the phenomenon of selective perception, right? You're looking for a new car, and the new car that you're looking for happens to be what, a Subaru or a Toyota or a Honda. It doesn't really make any difference, or a Lincoln, and all you see on the road from that moment forward are Toyotas or Subarus or Hondas or Lincolns. I mean, your subconscious goes to work on whatever it is that's bubbling up to the surface. So when I was looking to make that decision or to validate the decision or reinforce that decision, the only people that I would search out, the only people that I would really talk to are people that had positive stories to tell. Um, Recognizing that I didn't really want to hear any arguments against the transplant because the alternative was rather bleak. Um, you know you don't want to die. I didn't want to die. Certainly not that way. Not from a chronic terminal debilitating illness. So it's no different with any other decisions that you make in life or in business or at work. Um, and the thing that's important is not that you challenge the confirmation bias, although I think it is important that you challenge it. What I think is important that you're aware of it, that you recognize that this is a pothole that you're about to step into. Um, that there's a break in the curve that you need to be aware of, that you need to see. It's almost like when you're trying to make that decision and you're trying to validate and reinforce, you might as well just put your fingers in your going, no, 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 I'm not listening, or as some kids, like to do it, listen to the hand. But in any case, buying and reading this book may be the single uh, most the cleverest decision I've made in a long time, because it's helping me on it in a number of different levels. And you might think it's odd to start reading and absorbing this kind of technology this late in life, but realistically, we're all, it seems like everybody's living longer, and I want to join that crowd. Um, I'm working hard to join that crowd. So I would like to be sure that the decisions I make moving forward are good decisions. And there are lots of them because of the book. There are lots of things that I have to consider. There are lots of projects that I can dedicate my time to that are related to the book and getting the misfire message out into the world. And I've got to decide which ones will work the best, recognizing that there's really no way to know unless or until you try one. So this confirmation bias idea is important on a number of different levels, and the awareness of it is critical on a number of different levels. Uh, the most important of which is, what would happen if we could challenge that bias? What would happen if we were able to actually calm down and listen, to stop prejudging, to stop making all of these assumptions that we make about information that is contrary to our way of thinking at that particular moment. Um, what would life be like if in conversation someone said something that we didn't agree with, or somebody provided us with information that we didn't really want to confront at that particular moment because it was contrary to what we believe our best interests were at that moment, or the decision that we were about to make? Um, and instead of ignoring it, instead of making believe that never happened or the person was invisible, or worse yet, assuming that because they said something that we don't agree with, um, they're wrong, or worse than being wrong, there's what they said was dumb, or perhaps worse than thinking that what they said was dumb was thinking that what they said was stupid, or making that next great leap of faith that suggests that it's not what they said that was stupid, it's they are the ones that are stupid, and they have no choice but to say stupid things. Um, what if we were able to just listen and calmly, quietly work our way through the different choices that we have, and instead of saying that we only have two choices, looking for more than two choices, um, instead of saying what if, or making those choices, what if we were able to say what if, um, instead of just making those choices, or what if not, um, asking why or why not more often? How much better would the decisions that we are confronted with, that we finally make, how much better would they be? Uh, I think they'd probably be lots better. Um, so the challenge really is awareness. The challenge is being aware that human nature and psychology suggests that we don't like to be confronted with things that we think are going to challenge our belief system. We don't like to be confronted with things that are going to suggest that the decision that we're making, or have already made, or are about to make, is not the best decision. Um, Perhaps for no other reason than we didn't frame it correctly. Um, And that's other things that they go into the book. That's one of the reasons I highly recommend it. So I think it's important that we decide to create a better framework for making decisions so that the decisions that we make are better. Something to think about on a Saturday. Hopefully, it'll tickle your brain a little bit. And any questions, comments, suggestions, you know where to find me. Uh, until then, stay well, take care. Love having these little chats with you. Bye bye.